water. And I'm like, okay, first of all, the floor would give out from the weight of the water before that could happen.
Right.
Not to mention, even that towel's not going to keep it. It's going to fill up like that. It's going to take a whole day.
Yeah.
Not like a few minutes to fill up so you and your lover can swim around in the bathroom. Like that would never happen.
And no water leaked under the door.
Oh, some water did fall down through the ceiling to the movie theater down below, which I'm like, okay, you know what? Your ass would be on those people right there because that ceiling would have fell down with all that water.
Right.
But, it's a movie. It's cute. And it's, it's a pretty scene. Like there's no way. That does not happen.
Yeah. So anyway.
P.S. There's no fishermen either.
I guess so. Yeah. Way sidetracked. Before we move on, I want to another shout out to my little cousin Jonathan. I want to give him some props because he was just featured in an article in an online magazine for losing 91 pounds in the last 2 years. Yeah, he's doing this the keto diet, which is basically like Atkins and that stuff.
Okay.
Where you eat mostly meat and fat and very little carbs.
Right.
And the carbs you do eat are like the leafy greens and stuff like that, not the like potatoes or carrots and things like that. So yeah, he's been doing that for 2 years and he's a new man. And he looks great.
Congratulations.
And he's, healthy and he's full of energy and everything. And so yeah, so this online magazine that is about that way of life. They, I guess, found out about him from, I don't know how, I have to ask him, but then they did a whole long article.
Congratulations.
Interview with him.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
it's good health.
That's right. Shout out to JJ. Shoot, I need to try and go ahead and drop a few more pounds before next week because got the Lunell's birthday party is coming up.
Lunell's birthday party.
Lunell's annual black carpet celebrity birthday bash is next Sunday.
I didn't even know anything about this.
You didn't?
No, I've been to Retta's pink party.
Okay.
No,
Retta? You knew because it was we brought it up around the same time the whole Bootsy thing came up or whatever.
Oh, I remember talking about Lunell because I remember telling my story about how she was like at that party she dissed me, but her birth. All right.
Right.
Maybe I'll go to a party, grab her by the arm. So hey, remember me? Because she loves that so much.
Yeah. So that will be happening next week. So shout out to Kevin Rouse and Rouse House Entertainment. He's the one that's responsible for putting this soiree together. It's supposed to be like, star-studded with Dwayne Wiggins from Tony, Bow-Legged Lou from Full Force. I just want to say, you know what? Ain't my type of hype. That song still bumps. Ain't my type of hype.
I met him.
Oh, really?
I went to the TV's Critics' Choice Awards probably 4 years ago. Yeah, and 3 years ago. And I was working the red carpet actually, and then and part of my pay was I got to go to the ceremony. I sat at a table next to Allison Janney and RuPaul and all these other people, and I was there, and I met him that night after the show because the producer of the show who got me the job is good friends with him.
Okay.
They've been friends for years,
years
and years. And I didn't recognize because he's much older. He just looked like somebody's uncle.
Is he still super buff?
No.
Okay.
No. He just looked real regular actually.
Okay.
And again, and I was like, and he had short hair too, and I think that threw me off.
Yeah.
And then we were just talking, and then my friend said, "You know who this is?" And I'm like, "No." And I'm like, "Oh shit!"
Don't you love when they do that? Just put me on the spot like that. You know who this is, right in front of them.
Oh, but I don't mind that actually. Because,
really?
No, because I'll tell you why. Because first of all, if it was like an actor, maybe somebody who's known for their looks, like their appearance, their image, that's a big part. I guess they were known for their image too, but that's been so long. When they were the Jerry Curl buff guys.
Yeah.
But this, I also respect them as producers,
right?
And stuff like that too. Like this, they're the soundtrack of my like teen and 20s.
Oh yeah.
Like they had their hands on all of it. And I started singing his songs. He's like, "Yep, you got every one of them." Lisa was my thing. Now I see now, dude. If I was gonna be straight, Lisa. Oh my God.
Big old biddies.
Oh my God, Lisa. Hot, right?
She was hot for sure. Talking about if I take you home, shit.
Yeah, but Lunell knows everybody, and everybody knows Lunell, and everybody loves her.
Mm-hmm. She does. All right, let's go ahead and get into this show.
The Shiznit.
So Rick Ross, man. Rick Ross is in the hospital.
Wow.
And there's, they're saying he's on life support, but everybody in his camp is denying it, and they're downplaying it, saying, "Oh, he's not on life support. I just got through talking to him. He's fine. He's okay." So we really don't know what the truth is.
Right.
I believe he's probably not doing well.
I believe so. Well, I'll say because the source of this story was TMZ. It's the only gossip columnist where they usually pretty accurate.
TMZ, they get their shit right.
I mean, when Michael Jackson died, I didn't go to CNN first.
Right.
I went to TMZ.
Yeah.
And they had like photos and footage, and they had talked to the maid and the housekeeper. They had talked to, they're pretty good.
Yeah, Harvey don't play.
Yeah.
Harvey,
He's a lawyer too, so he knows if he's
yeah.
going to put it out there, it has to be some credibility to it.
Definitely. So what they're saying is like last Thursday, 911 operator got a call from Rick Ross's home in Florida saying that he was unresponsive and that he was like drooling or foaming at the mouth and all this. And, so they sent paramedics there and he's hospitalized. And now, like I said, they're saying that he's hooked up to a machine that's working for his heart and lungs.
Wow. He's too young for this.
Yeah, that is true. But like I said, they're vehemently denying it. So, which I kind of don't get that. Like,
well, maybe it's the circumstances around it or something they don't want leaked out.
I guess.
And maybe they're thinking somebody's going to put two and two together. I don't know.
I just don't like, okay, you a human being.
Right.
You got sick. Why lie about it? Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, people get sick.
Right.
Like, even stars, but regular people just don't lie about it. Like, I get, like, at one time it was thought that anything like that would, like, it was going to, damage your career, whatever. I don't think people still think like that anymore. I don't really think.
No, not at all. People have sympathy usually.
Right. So I don't understand. I don't know if it's just out of habit. You know what I mean? Just to be private, just because you don't want anything. I don't really understand the thought process of I had a heart attack. Let's keep this on the DL. Like, nobody can find out about. I don't really, especially since you don't have a job where, you're going into an office or something and they're going to start looking at your health sideways and maybe trying to force retire you or something like that. You don't have that type of situation going on.
But if you have a job where you're negotiating stuff and you got something coming up and the producers might think like, oh, he's not going to be available. He's going to be sick.
I guess that could be it.
Like, I'm going to give him a $1 contract to be the voice of Pepsi.
That's true.
He can't go on tour or can't,
Yeah, maybe. I guess it's just one of those things that you just really no good reason for it to get out for the most part.
A man in his position, though, I feel like there's something else.
You think so?
Like it might be the circumstances.
Drug related.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But something like they don't want people asking more questions. Oh, okay, well then why? What happened? So it's like, oh no, nothing happened. He just exhaustion or whatever.
Yeah. I love that one. I love how all these celebrities go for exhaustion and dehydration. Motherfucker, take a nap and drink some water.
Yeah.
Like, really? Come on now. Y'all think, like, really?
Yeah.
We got people who are, who play sports. You know what I'm saying? Like, they go at it hard.
Right.
And they never end up in the hospital for dehydration and exhaustion. But yet your little ass got on tour and all of a sudden you got to be hospitalized for dehydration and exhaustion. No, it's drugs.
Right.
The drugs have dehydrated you and exhausted you.
Right. So I'm not saying it's drugs. I don't know. But there's something else. There's another layer that we're not. There's something they're trying to hide,
possibly.
And they tried to do that with Michael Jackson too. They started spinning Michael Jackson's story real quick.
Oh yeah. They celebrities get caught lying a lot about their health, probably more than anything else. The health and family status, I think, are the two biggest things that they lie about. Oh, we're not getting divorced. Oh, everything's fine. We're good. We're not getting divorced. They're getting divorced.
Right.
Oh, nothing's wrong with my whatever. A month later, he's dead. That happens all the time. And then 50 Cent, being the king of petty.
Oh my God.
Did you hear about his comment?
Did he say something like if he dies, he dies or something like that?
Well, he didn't actually say that with words, but he said that with a picture.
Oh, okay.
You know how they say a picture's worth 1,000 words?
Yeah.
Well, what he did was he posted a picture of Ivan Drago, who was a character from Rocky IV, played by Dolph Lundgren.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And this specific picture that he posted is from the scene where
Apollo
Creed is like past dying, and Ivan Drago was like, if he dies, he dies.
Oh my God.
And so people put the two and two together and was like, oh man, 50 Cent is I love his music. But he, as a person, I am not a fan.
No.
I love his music, but as a person, he's such a bitch. He is such a bitch.
I think he's a little bit of a prima donna. That's what it is.
Bitch.
Okay. All right. I say prima donna, you say bitch. You're right, but we both say the same thing. You're right.
I mean, he is just like, petty. I never seen a grown man who's so petty, got so many beefs about nothing with so many people, so many, like, oh my God, and just carries it on forever and just about nothing. And he get catty with men, women. He don't care.
Right.
Oh my God, I swear right now there's a kid in a sandbox somewhere that 50 Cent got beef with. He got beef with some kid in a sandbox somewhere. I bet you. I
almost worked for him.
Really?
Yes, I was a casting job.
Wow.
He did, I don't know
which movie?
Not a movie, TV show that he did. It was on the air. I don't know if it's still on now, but it was like 50 Cent Presents, and it was like it was a sketch show meets.
That's so
music
crazy. It's
show.
so much out there. Like, cause I am a TV dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like I consume a lot of TV and I read about a lot of TV and just like I know of a lot of TV, and there's still so much out there that I am just like oblivious to. Like you mentioned this, and I'm like, wow, really? I've never heard of that.
Yeah. My boss, the casting director, she called me up and said, like, I got a show. I need your assistance on it, and it's 50 Cent. I'm like, yeah. They ended up giving it to a New York casting director. So, of course, most of the cast came from here.
Well, in that capacity, it probably wouldn't have been terrible working for him. But if you had to work closely with him, I would have been like, oh, that's one of those things. But like, you got to take it because it's 50 Cent. Like, just to have that name on your resume. Well, you know what I mean? Like, if you're trying to, it being a business and whatever, I wouldn't blame you for taking it, but at the same time, I'd feel bad for you.
If we had continued on with this job, I would have met him at final casting because he would have been there, and I probably would have met him at some like opening party or something like that. In which case, he wouldn't talk to me, but at the casting, he'd have to.
Right.
So.
Yeah,
I ain't got enough money. I ain't got enough titties.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. So that's what's up with 50 Cent's petty comment in regards to the Rick Ross situation, because he and Rick Ross got beef. So about who knows what, who cares at this point. 91-year-old blind grandma is swindled by her own nephew.
What?
Yes, this is a local story.
This is crazy.
This is a Hollywood woman. She made her living as a maid, bought herself a house in Hollywood.
In the 1950s.
It's been paid for. She's been living there 50 years.
1960s.
And she's, elderly and, partially blind and everything. She fell a little behind on her taxes. Not real far, like $5,000 something or whatever. And her nephew said he's going to help her out.
Right.
So her trusting her nephew and, plus being, he paid the money. Supposedly it was like a loan or whatever, and she was going to be able to pay him back over time or whatever. And
he had her sign some papers.
He had her sign a quitclaim paper, which is basically he had her sign the house over to him. And her being blind, had no idea what she was signing. And she signed it over to him, and now he's kicking her out. And even the judge was like, well, look, if she gives you back your your money, will you give her back the house? He's like, no, I want the house.
Oh man,
he gonna burn in hell.
This dude is awful.
This dude is bad.
This is awful.
This is horrible.
You know when you get to like a crosswalk and you walk and they supposed to stop, but everybody don't stop. So I try to look the driver in the eye. Because I figure if they look me in the eye and they still hit me, they just evil.
That takes a different level of
this dude is the kind of dude that look you in the eye and hit you with the car.
This motherfucker is the kind of dude that will run you over, back up, run your ass over again, and then put the car, and then one more time for good measure on his way out.
All right, so I do know this story, and I also saw the interview with the woman, and I also saw where the judge asked for like just can you an extension, and he's like, oh yeah, you can have till Monday.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got a heart. You can have the weekend.
Right? This dude is cold blooded.
He's like Mr. Burns.